Hello there everyone and welcome to video number 124. This video is on percentage again, but this time we're talking about reverse percentage. Keywords here are original and multiplier. Now the original is the 100% value, all right, what it was at the beginning, all right? So we're working things backwards in these questions. A multiplier is a number that you can use to make quantities bigger or smaller quite quickly using a calculator, which I've done a video on previously, but in this instance we're going to be using the multiplier backwards. So instead of multiplying, we're actually going to be dividing. All right. Now, to find an original quantity using a calculator, you can identify what the multiplier would have been to increase or decrease the original quantity and then divide by it, because you're working backwards. Without a calculator, you will need to identify the percent that the quantity, given quantity represents. Set it up as an equation with one side being the percent and the other side being the quantity. And then we divide by 10% or 1%, or divide to find 10% or 1%, and then we can multiply each side by the same thing to work out what 100% value is. Okay, so let's see what method we are able to use in question number 1. 15% of class 9E are left-handed and 3 people are left-handed. How many students are in 9E? So what we can tell from this is that 15% is equal to 3 people. All right, so I'm going to write that down. 15% equals 3 people. All right, now you have to interpret those words and figure that out for yourselves in other questions. To find 1%, we can divide by 15. If we divide both sides by 15, this is what we get. 1% equals 3/15. Right, which we can simplify down because we divide both those numbers by 3, 1 to 5. So we get a fifth. Right, now if we multiply by 100, let's multiply this side by 100 as well. All right, what we end up with is 100% of the value. All right, that is the thing we're looking for. We're looking for that original quantity, the amount of people that are in the class. 100% of the people is going to be 100 multiplied by 1/5. So 1/5 multiplied by 100. Okay, 1 times 100 is 100, and 100 over 5 is what that would be. If we multiply our fractions, that's how I like to show you how to do it. 1 times 100, 5 times 1, 100 over 5. Okay, and 100 over 5, 100 divided by 5 is 20. So therefore there are 20 students in 9E. All right, there you go. That's how you do it without a calculator. I'm going to employ the calculator for the second question, I think. So number 2, dog bed is on sale with 30% off for £23.45. What was the price before the sale? Now the key word here in this question to help you identify that it is a reverse percentage question and that you're doing the right things is this word before. What's the word? What's the price before? What was the original amount? Okay, so I need to work out what the multiplier would have been to have decreased £23.45 by 30%. So the multiplier would have been either 0.7, which you could understand if you understand this particular topic quite well, by thinking of 30% off of 100% and then dividing by 100. Right, or my preferred way is 1 minus 30 over 100. There's our multiplier that would decrease a quantity by 30%. All right, and there's a video on that where I've explained it in a little bit more detail. So if you're not sure, go back and watch the whatever video it was in, finding a percentage of a quantity after a percentage increase. I think I showed you that video in that skill in that video. You know what I'm talking about. Just waffling now. Anyway, the multiplier is that. I'm going to use the one that's in the brackets there. It's my favorite way of doing it, and we're going to work it backwards. So we are dividing by that instead of multiplying by it. So £23.45 can divide by 1 minus 30 over 100, and that's going to give us our answer. So if I get my calculator in, that's easy. If I type the numbers in correctly, and that's going to be 1 minus fraction 30 over 100 equals 67 over 2, which is 33.5, which in terms of money, the dog bed was £33.50. All right, 30% off in the sale, and it would have cost £23.45. Right, and you can always work it back the other way and just make sure it did make sense. Now, some people would be very, very tempted in this question to work out 30% of that quantity that you get given and take it away. That doesn't work. Don't try and do that. Okay, right, let's look at this third question. Imogen buys a jumper and shoes. The jumper was £8. The total price she sold them both for was £120. She made 200% profit on the jumper and a 400% profit overall. Work out the percentage profit on the shoes. Okay, so this is a tricky problem because there's bits of information that are missing. So I'm going to try and set this up. Right, the jumper, the shoes, and both. All right. Because they're the bits of information we've got. So I'm going to set this up over here. Then I'm going to put down the cost, so what she's bought it for, then the difference, and then the sold price. All right. So then I'm going to see what we can work out. So it's like a two-way table, really, to work some stuff out in. So the jumper cost £8. Right. We know that bit of information. The total price she sold them for was £120. So both sold for £120. She made 200% profit on the jumper, so there's a calculation I can do there. I can take the 8 and find out what 200% is and add it on, right? So 100% of 8. So let's do this bit without a calculator to start off with. 100% of 8 is 8. So 8 and 8 and 8. So it's 3 times 8 is going to be 24. All right. She sold that jumper for £24. All right. 100% is 8, right? So you add that on, right? That's going to give you 16, but that's only 100% profit. She's made 200% profit, so we add another 8 on, right? Which is why I've got 3 lots of 8 there for £24. I hope that makes sense. That's pretty tricky to understand, but it's 200% profit on the jumper. From that, I am able then to work out what the cost of the shoes were, right? Because I can see that she sold the jumper for £24, so I can use the cost that use the sold price of both, take away that, and it gives me that, right? So that's going to be £96, all right, that she sold the shoes for. And I also know that 400% profit overall has been made. Okay, so I can work out something there as well, can't I? So yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do next. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. 2 seconds. No. So £120 is 400% profit, because that's the profit overall, right? So it's a reverse. This is the reverse percentage bit of the question, right? On the face of it, it didn't seem like it was reverse percentage, but there it is there. Okay, so she's made 400% profit. That is what that total is. Right, so we're going to work out what the multiplier would be, right, to increase something by 400%, right, and that would be 1 plus, so this is why I'm using my brackets, 400 over 100, right, and then close that bracket. That is what we're going to divide by. So we're going to take the 120 and divide by 1 plus 400 over 100. And that's going to give me the calculation that I need. I'm going to use my calculator for that. So 120 divided by 1 plus fraction 400% increase 24, right? So both things were bought for £24, right? So the difference between that, let's just work out the difference between that and that. That is a £96 difference again, £96 difference there. We got a difference there of £16, not that we necessarily need it. We can now work out the cost of the shoes that she bought there. So she bought the shoes for £16 because I'm doing 24 take away 8. And the difference between that and that then is £80. 96 take away 16 is 80. Right, so just doing that reverse percentage bit there really helped us out, helped us fill in the rest of this table that I've set up for everything. What we need to do is now revisit what the question is actually asking us to do, work out the percentage profit on the shoes. So that's the difference divided by the original multiplied by 100. So that will be the calculation that we need to do. Difference divided by the original multiplied by 100 is going to give us the percentage profit on the shoes, right? And that's a thing that I've shown you how to do in a different video. So 80 over 100, no, 80 over 60, 16 multiplied by 100. Okay, and that's 500%. And there's our answer. So quite a tricky one to navigate that. Find out the things that you don't know, and then use them to work out the other things that you don't know. And then once you've worked out everything that you do you needed to, you can work out the thing that you've been asked to work out in the end. All right, it'll be worth 4 or 5 marks or something like that. That sort of question, right? With a tricky bit of reverse percentage in there. All right, and that was the point of having that one, because it didn't seem like it was a reverse percentage, and it turned out to be that way. Okay, that's the only way you can answer that question. So thank you so much for watching this one. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another, practice your maths and all that nonsense. Bye bye.